Okay, the first two races we covered in the night of our UK racing preview for daily preview for the 14th of May on Saturday were the 145 from Thirsk, which admittedly we got totally wrong. We went with two horses here, Queen Celeste and Frozen Kiss, on their speed pedigrees. If you go back to part one of our YouTube video and have a look at that from our previews for Saturday, and they finished well down the track. Queen Celeste third last, and Frozen Kiss last. Anyway, second race on the part one video for the previews was the 210 from Newbury. In this race, we made it quite clear at the start that we were backing two horses at big odds to potentially run into an each way placing behind the top two elects, which we highlighted at the start of the race, being Memas, the Acclamation Colt, and Global Applause. They fought the race out as expected. Memas came out well on top. This is a potential black book horse to follow on the margin and put it to Global Applause, who we think is going to be a solid listed early 2-year-old. Memas looks Group 2 on the make, realistically, at the end of the day, and it sort of makes sense in this quality of race because it was a good quality race. It was very strong. We highlighted two horses at big odds in this race to run a place, or on an each way basis, but more inclined towards a place. We'll just have a quick look at that. This is the video here. Okay, this is a Hotbets 365 preview for races from the UK on Saturday. We're going to start and go earlier. It's a good to the second race as well, as we said, on an each way basis in support of the top elect. It's 4.4, 4.4. So yeah, you're getting plenty out of the race by backing Queen Celeste on top. So we're purely playing that race with so little form around. We're betting around the Kodiak filly. Cody. The second race we're going to look at is the 210 from Newbury. Okay, listen. Just go and bring that up. It's race 1 on the card. It's 6 furlong, 8 yard, 32.3k to the winner, class 2 2-year-old. Just so you pick up a little points that we give you. Decent quality race, actually. There's two that really stand out here as smart horses in Australian racing or UK racing or American racing. You get the gist of it as you listen to more previews. So let me get the race up. We're playing this race from a place betting value perspective, by the way, too. There's two really smart ones here in the race in the form of Memas and also, where's the other one? Global Applause, and Mason Colt. It's another bit of a speedy pedigree. But with 3 place dividends, 8 horses, 3 place dividends, we're trying to find a bit of value around it. If one of them's off the top of their game, hopefully to run into second, maybe win as an each way chance, but also more importantly as the equal third best. And we found 2 of those in Stringy Bark Creek on an each way basis at $26. And also Thora Barber, the Rip Van Winkle filly, out of a Danehill Dancer mare, another speedy pedigree at $41. That last win at Wolverhampton, especially speedy on the bottom half of the pedigree. Pretty strong through the line. It's over the same distance as today, and it did improve markedly on that first up. Absolute dismal failure when on debut at Kempton over 5 furlongs. So, and the same goes for Stringy Bark Creek, even though it was beaten into second 9 lengths on debut at Wolverhampton. This last start win where it made all, so that's where we highlighted pretty those strong. So on that basis, if it can make all again and get a soft enough lead in front, especially from the 3 alley, it's every chance. Another speedy pedigree by Bush Ranger out of a Liberatus mare, Son of Danzig. Preview were, so on an each way basis, more for the place value. The other two races that we covered in part 2 of the preview, I'm just going to turn the volume back down a bit, were the 225 from Newmarket and the 245 from Newbury. That was part 2 of our UK daily racing preview show. The last one you just saw was part 1. We highlighted part 3 in the first video. But in part 2, as we said, we covered the 225 from Newmarket. Edaras we come up on top with here, as I think it was our second nap of the day. Yeah, it was too. So we went 1 from 2 on the naps. The other nap that won was the 3 o'clock in part 1 of the recap from Newmarket, Desert Encounter. Yeah, but Adiras finished third. Not much to talk about out of that race from a future form reference perspective at the moment. Maybe in one of our Black Book shows later on. The other race that we covered was a 245 from Newbury, and this wasn't a win betting race, it was a place betting race. We highlighted Ariad as a lay in the 245 at Newbury, and if we go and have a quick look, both our lays ran second today, interestingly, so they've been beaten, but they weren't far off winning, so yeah, I don't know. Anyone looking for a negative, there's one. Ariad second, drifted out to 8-1. I think we said in the preview it was being bet on the 17-2 line. No, sorry, on the 13-2 line. Might have been on the 11-2 line. It was around that sort of mark anyway, so it has drifted out. But we did say that we're happy to lay it out to a mark of $10 from memory. So go and have a look. Each time out to the volume at Newmarket and Windsor. So the form really does stand up there. Around the debut run to suggest this one could be black type on the make. Adiras. That's Adiras. One, as you can see. But yes, Adiras at evens, and we're happy to take the evens about it. The improvement, it's a group horse on the make for the day, to be honest with you. From Newbury. Okay, there's no betting action in this race. It's purely, this race is from a lay betting perspective. And it's our first lay of the day. Let's wait for it to come up. Okay, this is a Group 3 race over 12 furlongs. 56k to the winner, 100k purse, 5 starters, 4-year-olds and up. The reason we're happy to lay in this race, 5 horses, but 4 of them soft strong, lightly raced improvers. There's a couple of really smart good scope, you know what I mean? While this improvers in this race in the form of Starstorm, Astronerius, who looks above average. Both are good prices. This is a horse we're going to be laying Arad. And the other lightly raced one that looks pretty smart too, outside of the top of the outside of the race favourite, the Eagle Top, is Kanachi, which is won its last 3 on end, putting together a bit of a picket fence procession at the moment in its form lines. What happened in that Arad race again? So yeah, the one here that's worth laying is Arad. Currently $7. We're happy to lay it out to the $10 mark in this race. Can't see it winning. No more scope, major scope, while the others look potentially very good quality stakes horses on the make, if not already. They're the 2 races to be covered in this session. So that sort of gives you a recap of the last 4 races of the 6 races we covered. We've given you a 12-1 winner and a 2-1 nap in the first 2 races, which were the last 2 in the first part of the preview, the recap preview that you've looked at. But you've also got 2 out of 2 lay bets and numerous other good bets during the day. A couple of black bookers to take out of the races, especially from the 3 o'clock. Desert Encounter is a definite black booker to follow. Paul Thomas, the horse we said was going to be the major danger, will come out and be a horse to follow. It'll improve second up off a 2-year break. Get Nodded's obviously back to its best. If it doesn't get penalised too heavily by the handicapper, it could be worth following again. And the winner out of the 210 race at Newbury, the 2-year-old race, it's Group 2 on the make, the Acclamation, Colt or Filly from memory. Anyway, thanks for listening to another Hot Bets 365 daily racing preview recap.